All right, today we're talking about AI, bias, and the future of learning. And we're about to jump right into a huge paradox at the heart of modern education, the incredible promise, but also the hidden danger, of artificial intelligence.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if the biggest test you ever face isn't graded by a person, but by an algorithm? Your entire future, all your opportunities, filtered through a piece of code. And hey, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is happening right now, in schools and universities all over the place.
And what if that algorithm is already biased? Yeah, that's where things get complicated. Because here's the catch. These systems, the ones that are supposed to be totally objective, can actually be packed with hidden prejudices. And the consequences? They can be huge.
So you've got this real tension, right? It's like two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have the promise of AI, this amazing personalized learning experience for every single student. It sounds incredible. But on the other side, you have the peril. The risk of just amplifying the same old systemic inequities we've been fighting for years, but now with a high-tech gloss. So, where does all this bias even come from? I mean, it's easy to point the finger at the code, right? Blame the algorithm. But the problem, it actually starts way, way before that. It begins with the data itself, the stuff the AI is learning from.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about something called representational bias. Just imagine an AI that's trained mostly on data from, say, students who have amazing internet and the latest computers. Well, that AI is going to get really, really good at understanding those students. But what about everyone else? It might totally misunderstand students who don't fit that mold, maybe even flagging them as at risk just because they're different.
And then you've got measurement bias. This one's a little different. This is when the algorithm is basically told to measure the wrong thing. It might reward a student for being super fast and to the point, because hey, that's easy to measure. But in doing so, it might actually penalize someone for deep, thoughtful, reflective thinking, just because it doesn't fit the neat little pattern it's looking for. So it ends up measuring conformity, not actual competence.
And this, right here, is the core danger. When a student's unique background or their unique way of thinking doesn't match the data the system was trained on, the algorithm doesn't see diversity. It sees an error. It sees a deficiency. It's a system that interprets difference as a problem to be solved.
Now, this isn't just some abstract theoretical problem we're talking about. This illusion of objectivity, the idea that the algorithm is always right, it causes real, actual harm in the real world.
Let's look at a few examples to make this super clear. You have automated grading systems like the E-Rater, which were shown to consistently give lower scores to African-American students than human graders did. Or look at healthcare, where predictive algorithms have literally created unequal access to treatment. And yeah, right back in the classroom, learning analytics can end up punishing students just for having a different learning style than the one the system expects.
And get this, there was a nursing student, right? Her instructors loved her. They praised her for these incredibly thoughtful, detailed notes she took on patient care. But an algorithm? It flagged her as inefficient. Can you believe that? The very quality that was going to make her an amazing, compassionate nurse was seen as a weakness by the machine.
So, if this kind of bias is kind of inevitable, what are we supposed to do? I mean, if our data is always going to reflect our messy, imperfect world, are we just stuck? Well, no, not at all. It just means we need to change our approach. We need to stop trying to perfect the data and start empowering the people using the technology.
The solution here is all about developing a totally new kind of literacy. We need to shift from just being passive users of this stuff to being active, critical thinkers who know how to question it.
So what does that actually mean, to be a critic instead of just a user? Well, first, you've got to question the output. Always ask, why did the AI tell me this? What's behind that recommendation? Second, you have to understand the data. What is the system valuing? What is it ignoring completely? And third, and this is key, we have to practice what you might call algorithmic empathy. Treat the AI like a partner you need to interpret, not some all-knowing authority you just have to obey. It's about using its output as a starting point, not the final word.
And look, this new literacy isn't just on individuals. It's not just up to you. This has to be baked into the very design of our educational systems. So let's get practical. What does that actually look like?
Okay, there are some really great practical strategies we can use. For instance, participatory data. That just means bringing students into the process. Let them help create the rubrics and standards so the system actually reflects their real-life experiences. Or how about critical transparency? This could be something as simple as an "Explain my result" button on a dashboard that actually shows the student why the AI flagged them. And then there's ethical pedagogy, which is all about teaching these AI failures in class, turning them into powerful learning moments. But the bottom line for all of this? Collaboration. You got to get the educators, the ethicists, and the data scientists all in the same room talking to each other.
But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal here isn't just to build a technically fair algorithm. It's something much deeper than that. It's really about humanizing the technology. It's about embedding our human values, things like care and compassion, into the very tools we create.
And this is a really, really important distinction to make. See, fairness can often just be a numbers game, right? It's about making sure the stats are all balanced out. But equity is about compassion. It's about context. Equity doesn't just ask, are the numbers equal? It asks, does every single learner have what they need to truly thrive? You can have a system that is technically fair, but still leaves countless students feeling completely unseen and misunderstood. So really, the ultimate goal isn't just about creating intelligent technology, it's about developing wise practice. We want smarter machines for sure, but more importantly, we need wiser ways of using them. Technology should be a tool that informs our decisions, but it should never, ever replace our own judgment, our empathy, or our sense of care.
And that really leaves us all with one big question to think about. How can we make sure that AI serves humanity and not just the numbers? As these tools get more and more powerful, it's truly on every single one of us, educators, leaders, learners, all of us, to keep asking how we can design and use them to lift up our shared human values, to make absolutely sure that this technology serves us and not the other way around.